Welcome to Great Lives. I'm Daniel. Here, we honor individuals whose journeys shaped history and inspired millions. Their courage, talent, and dedication left a lasting mark across generations. Join us as we revisit their stories from film, music, sports, and culture, celebrating lives that continue to inspire and remain unforgettable through time. Pat Steer, the New York City-based artist, has passed away at the age of 87, leaving behind a remarkable body of work that reimagined how movement and emotion could be expressed through painting. She became widely known for her celebrated Waterfall series, where she explored the natural flow of paint by allowing it to drip, stream, and spread across the canvas. Instead of tightly controlling every detail, she worked with the material itself, letting gravity and timing play an active role in shaping each piece. This approach gave her work a sense of openness and spontaneity, where color seemed to move and breathe on its own. Each painting carried a unique rhythm, reflecting both intention and chance, and inviting viewers to experience art in a more fluid and physical way. Her style stood apart for its balance between control and release, turning the act of painting into something almost performative. Steer is remembered as an artist who expanded the language of abstraction by trusting process as much as design. Her work continues to inspire appreciation for art that embraces movement, uncertainty, and natural flow, leaving a lasting mark on contemporary painting. Nick Pope is a British author and commentator known for his work on unidentified aerial phenomena and his earlier service in the UK government. Born in England in 1965, he began his career as a civil servant in the Ministry of Defence, developing a reputation for careful analysis and steady judgment. In 1991, he was assigned to a small office reviewing reports of unidentified flying objects, placing him at the center of public interest in unusual aerial sightings. While many cases were explained through conventional causes, a small number remained open to interpretation, shaping his balanced outlook between skepticism and open-minded inquiry. After leaving government service, he became an author, speaker, and media contributor, appearing in documentaries and interviews that explore the subject in a calm, analytical way. He is known for communicating complex topics clearly, avoiding sensationalism, and encouraging thoughtful discussion rather than definitive claims. Over time, he has remained a familiar voice in public conversations about unexplained phenomena. His work is often recognized for bridging official experience with public curiosity, making a niche subject more accessible while maintaining a grounded perspective. He continues to be active in writing and media discussions. Actor Nicholas Brendon has passed away at the age of 54, leaving behind a body of work that resonated deeply with television audiences around the world. He was widely loved for his portrayal of Xander Harris in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, a character who balanced humor, loyalty, and emotional depth, becoming one of the show's most grounding and relatable figures. Brendon's performance helped shape the heart of the series and earned him a devoted fan base that continues to celebrate the show's legacy. Beyond Buffy, he expanded his career with appearances in series such as Criminal Minds and Kitchen Confidential, where he demonstrated his versatility across both dramatic and comedic roles. Colleagues and fans alike often spoke about the warmth and authenticity he brought to his performances, qualities that made even smaller roles feel memorable and real. His work remained closely associated with the era of television that shaped many viewers' early experiences with serialized storytelling. While his passing marks a sad moment for fans, his performances continue to live on through the characters he created, offering humor, heart, and humanity that will be remembered for years to come. Before fame found her, Nedra Talley was just a young girl growing up in Manhattan, New York, surrounded by music and possibility. Born on January 27, 1946, she discovered her love for singing early and began performing with her cousins Ronnie and Estelle Bennett, sharing harmonies that would soon grow into something much bigger than they imagined. Together, they formed a group that the world would come to know as the Ronettes, a trio whose bold style, towering hair, and unmistakable sound helped define an era of pop music. By the 1960s, their songs were everywhere, filling radios and concert halls, and even earning admiration from major artists of the time. Yet behind the glamour and success, The journey was not always easy, and by the late 1960s, Nedra stepped away from the group to pursue a different path in life. That path eventually led her toward faith, family, and a quieter way of living, far from the intensity of fame. She later recorded inspirational music and focused on raising her children with her husband, building a life rooted in peace and purpose. Years later, her contributions were honored when the Ronettes were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2007, securing their place in music history. Nedra's story remains one of talent, transformation, and grace, and her voice continues to echo through the songs that shape generations. Actor Matt Clark passed away at his home in Austin at the age of 89, closing a long and quietly remarkable life that touched both cinema and television. Though he rarely sought the spotlight, he became a familiar and respected character actor whose performances left a lasting impression on audiences and filmmakers alike. Clark built much of his legacy in the Western genre, appearing in films such as Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean, and The Outlaw Jose Wales, where his grounded, natural presence added depth to every role he played. Many fans also fondly remember his turn as Chester the bartender in Back to the Future Part 3, a small but memorable performance that showcased his easy authenticity on screen. Before his acting career fully took shape, Clark served as a U.S. Army veteran, an experience that many say contributed to the quiet strength and discipline he carried throughout his life. Over the decades, he earned a reputation as a dependable and honest performer who brought humanity to every character, no matter the size of the role. His passing marks the end of a steady, unflashy, but deeply respected career in film history. Bruce Willis was born in 1955 on a U.S. military base in West Germany before being brought to the United States as a young child. His early years unfolded in a working-class environment in New Jersey, shaped by factories, routine labor, and a culture that valued toughness over expression. His family life was stable but not indulgent, and expectations were simple: work hard, stay grounded, and keep moving forward. Nothing in his surroundings suggested Hollywood or global fame. Instead, his world was defined by small-town structures and blue-collar resilience. Yet even in these early years, there was an underlying contrast between who he was internally and what the world expected of him. He was energetic, observant, and expressive in ways that didn't always fit the quiet discipline of his environment. That tension would later become central to his identity as a performer. At the time, however, he was just another kid growing up in post-industrial America, unaware that his life would eventually intersect with global pop culture in a way few actors ever experience. The foundation of his story was not glamour, but ordinariness, something that would later define his most iconic roles. Childhood stutter and finding expression. Around the age of 9, Bruce Willis developed a severe stutter that significantly altered his childhood experience. Speaking became a stressful, exhausting process, often taking minutes to form simple sentences. In a social environment where confidence and quick speech often defined status, this created deep frustration and isolation. Schoolyard interactions were especially difficult, and teasing from other children reinforced his sense of being different. However, this limitation also forced adaptation. He began to explore communication beyond words, relying on humor, timing, and physical expression to connect with others. What he lacked in verbal fluency, he compensated for with presence and performance. This period marked the early emergence of a survival mechanism, turning vulnerability into attention and attention into acceptance. Interestingly, acting would later become the unexpected solution. When performing scripted roles, the stutter would often disappear, replaced by fluid speech. This phenomenon wasn't just a technical change, it represented emotional freedom. It suggested that identity, confidence, and environment could override limitation. What began as a childhood obstacle slowly transformed into the foundation of a future career built on expression, rhythm, and emotional honesty. Comedy as survival and school theater breakthrough. During adolescence, Bruce Willis discovered that humor could function as protection. In environments where verbal struggle made him vulnerable, making others laugh provided control. Comedy shifted the social dynamic. Instead of being judged for his speech, he became valued for his timing and personality. This realization became an important psychological turning point. In high school, he joined drama activities, almost instinctively. What seemed like a risky decision given his stutter, became transformative. On stage, he experienced a surprising release. The hesitation in his speech diminished when he embodied a character. Acting created distance between himself and his anxiety, allowing language to flow without the same internal resistance. He quickly gravitated toward performance not as a hobby, but as a form of expression that felt natural and liberating. Within school settings, he gained recognition not for athletic dominance or academic prestige, but for charisma and presence. These early experiences laid the groundwork for his future career, revealing that performance was not just entertainment for him, it was a way to communicate without barriers. The stage became a space where confidence replaced fear. Early jobs and New York struggles. Before entering Hollywood, Bruce Willis lived a period of uncertainty and financial instability in New York City. Like many aspiring actors, he supported himself through a series of unrelated jobs, including security work and private investigation. These roles were not glamorous, but they provided exposure to human behavior, tension, and unpredictability, elements that would later influence his screen performances. New York in this era was unforgiving for newcomers in the arts. Competition was intense, and opportunities were limited. Willis auditioned repeatedly with little success, often facing rejection from casting directors who struggled to see him as a leading man. He did not fit the conventional mold of polished Hollywood attractiveness, and this worked against him in early evaluations. Despite these setbacks, he remained immersed in performance culture, gradually refining his personality and stage presence. The city itself became an informal training ground, teaching resilience through repetition and rejection. This phase of his life was defined not by success, but by persistence. Each small role, audition, and performance contributed to a growing sense of identity as an entertainer, even before recognition arrived. Bartender stage and crafting a persona. One of the most formative chapters in Bruce Willis's early career took place not in a studio, but behind a bar. Working in New York nightlife, he became known for transforming bartending into performance. The environment allowed him to blend humor, improvisation, and personality in real time, effectively turning customers into an audience. This period was crucial in shaping the persona that would later define his screen presence: relaxed, sharp-witted, slightly rebellious, and effortlessly charismatic. The bar was not just employment, it was rehearsal. Every interaction refined his timing, confidence, and ability to read people quickly. Unlike structured acting environments, nightlife required spontaneity. Conflicts, conversations, and comedic moments emerged unpredictably, forcing adaptation. This helped him develop a naturalistic style that felt authentic rather than rehearsed. Although he was still far from mainstream success, he was gradually building a recognizable identity. The combination of humor, edge, and emotional accessibility became his signature. Without realizing it, he was assembling the traits that would later make him stand out in auditions that initially seemed out of reach. Breakthrough with Moonlighting. The turning point in Willis's career came with the television series Moonlighting. At the time of his audition, expectations for the role leaned toward a polished, conventional leading man. Willis, however, brought a different energy, unpredictable, confident, and slightly chaotic in delivery. This contrast initially concerned executives, but it ultimately became the reason for his selection. Once cast, his chemistry with co-star Sybil Shepherd created a dynamic that elevated the show beyond standard television drama. The dialogue, often fast-paced and sarcastic, matched his natural rhythm. Rather than suppressing his style, the role amplified it. The series became a cultural success, transforming Willis into a household name almost overnight. It also challenged industry assumptions about what a leading man could look and sound like. He was not polished in a traditional sense, but he was compelling, dynamic, and memorable. This breakthrough marked his transition from struggling actor to mainstream recognition. It also set the stage for a larger shift in Hollywood, where unconventional charisma began to compete with traditional star aesthetics. His rise demonstrated that personality and presence could outweigh conventionally defined image standards. Hollywood doubt and die-hard casting. Despite television success, Hollywood remained uncertain about Bruce Willis's ability to carry a major action film. When he was cast in Die Hard, skepticism was immediate. Studios and critics questioned whether a television comedian could convincingly portray a high-stakes action hero. The role had originally been associated with more physically imposing stars, reinforcing doubts about his suitability. The production itself reflected this hesitation. Marketing materials initially avoided prominently featuring Willis, focusing instead on the film's setting and action premise. The concern was that audiences might not take the casting seriously. However, the film's release proved these assumptions incorrect. Willis's portrayal of John McClane introduced a new type of action hero, physically vulnerable, emotionally grounded, and humorously self-aware. Unlike traditional invincible protagonists, McClane was reactive, injured, and human. This shift redefined the genre. Audiences responded strongly to the authenticity of the character, and the film became a massive success. The skepticism that surrounded the casting transformed into recognition of innovation. Willis had not only succeeded in the role but had also changed expectations for action cinema itself. Reinventing action hero archetype. Following Die Hard, Bruce Willis became closely associated with a new archetype in Hollywood, the quote, everyman hero. This character type differed significantly from earlier action figures. Instead of near-invincible strength, it emphasized vulnerability, humor, and endurance under pressure. Willis's background in comedy and improvisation played a critical role in shaping this evolution. His ability to balance tension with sarcasm made action scenes feel more grounded and relatable. Audiences saw not a fantasy figure but a human reacting under extreme conditions. This reinvention influenced numerous films throughout the 1990s and beyond, establishing a template that many later action heroes would follow. The combination of physical danger and emotional realism became a defining feature of modern blockbuster storytelling. At the same time, Willis expanded his range through diverse roles, refusing to be confined strictly to action. His performances demonstrated versatility, showing that the same performer could shift between intensity, humor, and introspection. This period solidified his position not just as a star, but as a structural influence on Hollywood storytelling itself. Fame, family, and pressure of the 90s. During the 1990s, Willis experienced intense global fame, amplified by blockbuster success and widespread media attention. His marriage to Demi Moore placed him at the center of celebrity culture, where personal life became as public as professional achievements. Together, they were one of Hollywood's most visible couples, constantly followed by media and paparazzi. Despite financial success and cultural influence, this period also brought increasing pressure. The demands of fame created limited privacy, and maintaining normal family life became difficult. Attempts to create stability, including moving away from major entertainment hubs, were often disrupted by constant public attention. Professionally, Willis explored varied projects, some successful and others critically criticized. This mix reflected both creative ambition and risk-taking, but also highlighted the unpredictability of maintaining long-term dominance in Hollywood. The combination of public scrutiny and personal responsibility created a complex environment. While externally successful, this phase contained growing emotional and structural strain, reflecting the often unseen cost of sustained fame at a global level. Reinvention through indie films and critical resurgence. After early career peaks, Willis experienced both criticism and resurgence through strategic role choices. One of the most significant was his involvement in Pulp Fiction, directed by Quentin Tarantino. The film's unconventional structure and dialogue-driven storytelling marked a departure from mainstream Hollywood formulas. Willis's performance as Butch Coolidge demonstrated a different dimension of his acting ability. Rather than relying on action dominance, the role emphasized restraint, emotional conflict, and moral ambiguity. This helped reposition him as a serious actor capable of navigating complex narratives. The success of Pulp Fiction revitalized his critical reputation and led to further high-profile roles in films such as The Fifth Element and The Sixth Sense. The latter, in particular, highlighted his ability to convey emotional depth with minimal dialogue. This phase demonstrated adaptability. Rather than being limited by earlier typecasting, Willis expanded his artistic identity. He moved between blockbuster cinema and more nuanced storytelling, maintaining relevance across different cinematic eras, legacy, change, and quiet human struggles. In later years, Bruce Willis's career slowed significantly, accompanied by growing concerns about his health. Public reports confirmed his diagnosis of frontotemporal dementia, which gradually affected communication and performance ability. This condition marked a profound shift from his earlier identity as one of Hollywood's most dynamic communicators. The response from the industry and fans reflected both admiration and sadness. His earlier work was reassessed with renewed appreciation, particularly for its emotional intelligence and authenticity. At the same time, his condition highlighted the vulnerability behind a career built on expression and speech. Family support became central during this period, as he transitioned away from public performance. The contrast between his peak years and later struggles created a broader reflection on fame, aging, and human fragility. Ultimately, his legacy extends beyond individual films. It includes the transformation of action cinema, the redefinition of stardom, and the reminder that even the most iconic public figures face private challenges that audiences rarely see.